What's up, guys? Dropping Chomper off at my brother-in-law's house because we've got his Tundy for the weekend. We're gonna be putting a lift kit on this thing. I think it's a 3-inch Westcott. I'm not exactly sure. He bought it. I'm just doing the dirty work, but this is his 24 TRD 1794 iForce Max baller freaking truck. It's absolutely disgusting. Saddle leather on the inside. He's had it for like 2 years now. We meant to do a video when he got it, but we just ended up not doing it. But anyways, he's ready for some mods. Gonna put a lift kit, some tires, and possibly some wheels later. Here's y'all nice little side-by-side between the stock Tundy and Pop's Trail Boss, which is a full 4-inch lift to over factory, 22s, 35s. Also, Granny over there rocking the factory VMAX. Unreal. Here's our kit that we're going to be installing today. We got the Westcott Designs, part number 35210. It's going to be a collar replacement for our strut assembly. Typical leveling kit spacer on top. Got some new nuts, push pin. I think these are spacers for our shocks. And then these are the rear coil spacers. So this is going to be a 2-inch front lift, 1-inch rear lift, but this does already have the TRD suspension on it. So I think it's 1 to 2 inches above a standard Tundra already. And the TRD suspension looks really cool. Got the red sway bar, red accent on the shock, and then a red CV axle. I've never seen that before. Should be around that 4-inch total lift, allowing you to do 35s or 37s, depending on your wheel and tire setup and potentially how much you want to trim. But he's really just shooting for some 35s on the stock wheels as is, and then potentially some different wheels later. So let's go ahead, get this thing up in the air, start tearing it apart. First thing we're going to do is remove our sway bar end link. It's going to be a 19 mil. Remove this bolt and washer, and we'll use a pry bar to get it free. Now for the 22 mil lower strut bolt. Now we're going to loosen our 2 lower spindle bolts that holds the ball joint. These are going to be 22 mils as well. Now we're just going to slowly and evenly remove them. Now we're gonna go ahead and use our 24 mil to loosen the front and rear lower control arm bolts. I did go ahead and mark our alignment pins. That way we know if we knock it out of alignment, we can go ahead and reset it. And yes, these son of a guns are on there tight. Now we can go ahead and remove our lower shock bolt and ease this guy out of the way. Now we're gonna go ahead and take our 14 mil and loosen our strut tower bolts. Now just hold your strut up and remove your final nut. And we're gonna carefully drop this guy out the bottom. Went ahead and marked our assembly all the way up because it has to go back together the exact same way. If this top piece gets off center to the lower mount, it will not go back in the truck. So we're gonna go ahead and use our spring compressor tools to clamp this coil down and then swap this lower hat out for this billet one. And then this guy is gonna go on top with the beveled end, which you see sloped flat. That's gotta go down, and it only fits on there one way. So let's go ahead, get this guy compressed down, and that way we can get the top hat off. We should have it compressed enough to where we can go ahead and remove our top hat with a 19 mil. And then, like I said, everything's just got to come apart and go back together the exact same way. So we can remove that guy, this guy, flip her around. Got a washer that goes on top. This piece that may or may not stay on it, you'll have to take off. But now we need to go ahead, put some PB Blaster on this thing, and knock it free. We'll clean this up, put our new collar on. Now we can go ahead and slip our new collar on, line it up with our mark, give it some love taps, seat it into place, throw it back in our strut. Put this guy back on, slip it up into there. Come on, you gotta go past. All right, Now we're going to line that up just like that. Then take our top hat where we marked it, slip that guy. We actually got to put this washer on first, and then slip this guy into place. Find our nut and start it threaded on there, and we'll slightly tighten it, make sure everything stays in alignment, and then fully tighten. Now you might can see our coil is slightly sticking up, so we're going to go ahead and give it some love taps, get it seated properly. And just like that, nice and flush. Now just go ahead and take your top spacer and slide it into place. Now per the instructions, go ahead and put some red thread locker on these. And then go ahead and lift it up into place and get your new hardware started on it. And we'll go ahead and leave those loose for the moment. Now it's time to go ahead and raise our lower control arm and get our bottom shock mount bolt in there. All right, now let's see if we can raise this guy up enough with our hand to get our bolt in there. Might have to use the jack. Might not. Well, looks like we're good to go. There we go. Now, once again, on this one, you're going to be using some Loctite. Throw the nut and the washer on there. Now we'll go ahead and snug these guys up. They are now a 15 mil. Now I've gone ahead and used my jack to lift the lower control arm up some, and then we'll be using this pry bar on the coil and the upper to push it down in order to get our bolts back in. I've already got thread locker on them, and it's just a matter of taking your time, lining it up, pulling this guy out some if need be, and just hand tighten those things, a bunch of threads, and then we'll go ahead and fully tighten them down. Now, obviously, by the tire being back on, y'all can tell that I forgot to do this, but we're gonna go ahead and do it in whatever part of the video you're seeing it. This is gonna be the bump stop spacer. So just grab you some channel locks and unscrew this thing, put your spacer in right here, and thread it back on. Now I'm just gonna go through here and torque everything down. 4 up top, 1 below, sway bar end link, 2 for the spindle ball joint assembly, and then 2 for the lower control arm, and that is it. Honestly, a super simple and clean design here from Toyota. And if you're just doing your typical leveling kit stack on top, dude, this is gonna take you like an hour. Both sides, start to finish, super crazy easy. Obviously, it took us longer because we had to take the whole thing apart, but I like it a lot. A lot of things about this truck that I like. Honestly, we'll go over all those things later in the video, the things that I do like and don't, things that I found and whatnot, more personable stuff later. But for now, I'm gonna go ahead and get everything torqued down, throw our wheels and tires on, take this thing for a short drive, let everything settle, and then put the tape measure to it because I know Dylan doesn't want it to rake. He wants it to sit pretty much level. So I'll go ahead and see, and if that leveled the front to the back, then we might just leave it as is. I'm gonna send him pictures and stuff and let him decide. If he wants that back spacer in there, then we'll go ahead and get that knocked out in this video. And if he doesn't, then that's job done, which I'll be very happy with because that was super easy. All right, guys, well, here she is looking super freaking aggressive, much more than it was before. And we decided to go ahead and wait on the rear lift until after he does the 35s, which is hopefully going to be later on in this video. Personally, I think it's sitting perfect. And contrary to what you might think, it's only a 1/4 of an inch lower in the rear. I put the tape measure to it. Here it is on screen. A 1/4 of an inch lower in the back than the front. And I think it's got the perfect stance going on, super aggressive. I think it'd honestly make it look worse if you put the rear lift in, because it's only a 1/4 of an inch. So if you put the full inch in, it's gonna be raked again. Come on, man, you can't have the truck freaking raked. Of course, you gotta have the Tundra Flex, the back glass halfway down. Dude, this thing is sweet. It's gonna be so aggressive with some tires. It's gonna be perfect. Honestly, wheels and tires, then it'll be perfect, but it's still gonna look really good on the factory wheels. And then doing tires, we'll do a little, doing tires, then possibly wheels later. Anyways, absolutely baller truck. We're gonna go do a little drive in it here in a minute, and I'll give y'all my thoughts and opinions on my experience with it, because why freaking not while we've got it for the day. Found some nice skid plates underneath here. Metal right here. Kind of looks like it's missing one that should be there, but I don't know. Also, equal length exhaust, question mark. It's coming down each side of the transmission and then connects at the end of the transfer case. So factory equal length, that is pretty cool. Obviously Toyota trying to do what they can with a 6-cylinder. Either way, the truck doesn't sound bad. You literally can't hear the exhaust, which, you know, like we did on Shorty, comes out on the driver's side, which is kind of cool. But the engine noise, which we'll go over, we're going to drive it here in a minute. It's actually, I can admit, it's not freaking bad. All right, so 1794 edition. This is the 306 of 1500. I guess that's 424. Obviously, brown saddle leather everywhere, and it's freaking disgusting. I love these seats. Even the little back flaps, like a literal briefcase. Yeah, it's freaking cool. It is freaking cool. Hopefully it holds up well. Oh my gosh. So panoramic roof. Course, Tundra rear slider. It's got like the children sunblocker thing and everything. God, there ain't nothing this truck could be missing. Actually, oh my gosh, there's a couple blanks. What could it freaking be missing? That's crazy. This thing is so loaded. Does this one not drive itself? Do they have some that do? I don't know. A million different buttons. Yeah, we got 2 dummies here. Wow. I don't know what that could be, but I guess there is a couple options that this one didn't get. Either way, your 4-wheel drive stuff, a million different buttons for a million different things. Cooled seats, heated seats, giant screen, digital dash. Don't love that. Yeah. It's regularly a video, not a mirror, which trips my eyes out bad. I think this is a factory dash cam as well, which is pretty cool. And I don't think I've ever even looked in the engine bay. I think this has like 500 horsepower, twin turbo, 6-cylinder. With the hybrid system. I know there's a lot of orange, right? Yeah, well, pretty much covered up by everything. But, oh, dual intakes, that's pretty cool. Maybe we'll do an intake on here, try to get some of those turbo noises. But nothing really to write home about. We're gonna experience what the power is like in just a second, because I'm gonna put this thing up against my 6.2 Silverado. This will probably dust it, but maybe not. I don't know. Either way, let's go ahead, take her for a quick drive, and then hopefully later in this video, we're gonna be putting those 35s on. Now I can tell y'all already from the short drive that I've done since lifting it, it feels so much better. It's just more aggressive feeling. Now currently the engine is not on. We are using 50% of our hybrid system. At least that's what the gauge is saying. Engine's on. Honestly, I don't think it works enough for it to actually be like really that worth having. Maybe it does actually help the, I can't speak. Hopefully, maybe it helps the acceleration. This truck having, I think, 400 or 500 horsepower twin turbo 6-cylinder with the hybrid. It might just be there more for, you know, torque increase than anything, because currently it says the MPGs is 17, which any modern GM or Ford V8 can get that, if not beat it. So fuel economy not that great on here. We're going to experience the acceleration up here in just a minute, but overall truck is sweet, man. Truck is sweet in here. Plagued by modern vehicle seat comfort, not there. Not a very comfortable seat, very hard, you know, just I don't know why it's gotten like that, because the seats, it's not for durability, because freaking modern seats wear out faster than 20-year-old cloth, which is crazy, or even 20-year-old leather. I don't know why they've gotten away with, you know, seats being more comfortable, but they obviously have in pretty much all brands. This truck has how many? 17,000? I don't know. It says it's on a trip. I don't know how to change it. I think it's got 18,000 miles on it, so pretty low miles for a 24, I guess. But then again, you know, it is only 2-3 years old at this point. Saddle leather is freaking sick. It's got cooled seats, of course. It's a beautiful thing, man. It makes me really wish that I'd have got that High Country instead of my LTZ, because, you know, can't beat the saddle leather. Peanut butter guts is just where it's at. The driving with the 10-speed in the new Tundras feels really good. I love the 10-speeds in GM and Ford, and I seem to like it in here. Haven't driven it a ton, but it feels good, responsive. The turbos also feel good, which when I just got on it a little bit there, it like maxed out the hybrid system. So I'm guessing that is used more with accelerations rather than, you know, having the engine off, not using fuel. So yeah, because it didn't even build any boost at all, and maxed out the gauge right there, which has the hybrid, it says max. That's the gauge for that. It's like a little over half battery currently, and then it's got a boost gauge which reads 20. I don't think under normal driving I've seen over 10. I don't know what it gets full throttle. All right, let's see what iForce max acceleration is like. So I'm just going to go ahead and lay into her. Little delay, and she's ripping. Yeah, it feels good. It feels good. I'd like to run it at my 6.2, and this would probably take it, but I'd still like to run it at 4. Like when it shifts, it comes down close to 4,000, 4,200, and then it starts pulling strong with the turbos. Yeah, I'd like to run it. I think it'd be fun. But obviously, acceleration is good. I'm sure this truck, you got to run 93 in it. Premium fuel, which is what, like freaking $4.50 at this point right now. Not great. Let's see if this beater pulls out in front of us. Of course it does, because what else would you do in a beater? Don't double beater pull out. Wow, I thought they were going to do it. They didn't. Yeah, I'm going to quit rambling. Truck's sick. I love it. I need a Tundra. I don't. But I'm glad that Dylan's enjoying his truck, and I'm getting to help him modify it. First freaking mod on the Tundra. Westcott leveling kit, lift kit, whatever you want to freaking call it. We'll decide if we end up putting that rear in after the tires, which is hopefully going to come soon. But we got some bonus footage for the Tundra fans, because not only do we have a freshly lifted 1st gen, we also have a freshly lifted 3rd gen now. So last week we wrapped up the install on the 3-inch leveling kit on this truck, and then today I just knocked out the 2-inch Westcott lift on this truck. Turned out absolutely killer. This is super cool to me. 1st gen, 3rd gen, the originator of the roll down window, and then 20 years later, bunch of modernization, you got this nasty freaking critter. So yeah, it's cool to see them side by side. But there it is. Hope you enjoyed. Drop a comment, leave a like, subscribe if you're new, ring that bell notification, and I'll see y'all boys in the next one.